Hey everyone, welcome back. Imagine discovering completely by chance that people you once trusted are actively planning to end your life. Now imagine you only have days to turn the tables. Tonight's story isn't just about revenge, it's about survival, calculated calm under extreme pressure and ensuring justice prevails. Hit like, subscribe and grab that popcorn, you're going to need it for this one. Life after dissolving my business partnership with Alex and Ben was supposed to be about rebuilding. 6 months had passed since I uncovered their embezzlement and forced the dissolution. They left furious, blaming me, naturally. I was just trying to salvage what was left of the software company and move forward. The stress was immense, but I thought the worst was over. I was wrong. It happened late one Friday night. I was working late, trying to catch up. Something felt off. I'd noticed a couple of weird, failed login attempts on an old shared project management account earlier that week. Probably nothing, I thought, but coupled with a lingering unease about Alex and Ben's bitterness, I decided to check something I hadn't thought about since the split, an old, shared cloud storage folder they'd likely forgotten existed, let alone that I still had passive access to. My blood turned to ice. Buried deep, mislabeled, were recent chat logs. Voice notes. Detailed plans. Not just angry threats, a concrete plot. They were planning to kill me. Their motive seemed a mix of revenge and a warped idea that my death might somehow benefit them financially, maybe through an old insurance policy they incorrectly assumed was still valid. The plan was specific, a staged home invasion, late the following Thursday night, just 6 days away. They detailed forcing the back door, making it look like a robbery, wearing masks, disabling my visible external cameras, and ensuring I was silenced if I resisted. They even argued about what items to steal afterwards to make it look convincing. Panic seized me for a solid minute. My heart hammered against my ribs. 6 days. They were going to break into my home and kill me in 6 days. My first instinct was to call the police, but doubt crept in. Would they believe me based on logs from a shared drive? Could Alex and Ben talk their way out of it, claim it was dark fantasy or misinterpreted venting? If the police questioned them, they'd know I was onto them. They'd abort this plan and come up with something else, something unpredictable. No. They felt safe. They felt arrogant. They had given me their exact plan, date, and time. The only way to be truly safe was to let them walk into a trap they couldn't escape. The fear didn't vanish, but a cold, sharp clarity cut through it. I had 6 days. Saturday morning, T-5 days. Sleep had been impossible. I spent hours frantically researching online. Hidden cameras, small, high-def, night vision, audio, cloud storage essential, fast delivery crucial. I found a kit available for next-day delivery from a major retailer and ordered multiple cameras. I spent the rest of the day meticulously planning placement, covering the back door approach outside, the entry point inside, the main hallway, the living room, even one angled towards my bedroom door from the inside hall ceiling. Simultaneously, I started the painstaking process of downloading, screenshotting, and securely backing up every single incriminating message and voice note from that cloud drive, praying they wouldn't suddenly remember it and delete everything. I had to appear completely normal. When my neighbor waved hello during my brief walk outside, I forced a casual smile, my insides churning. Sunday, T-4 days. The cameras arrived. This was the most dangerous part. I spent 12 solid hours installing them. Drilling tiny holes, running microcables discreetly along baseboards and ceilings, configuring the Wi-Fi connections, testing the feeds on a burner tablet I'd bought, ensuring the cloud uploads were flawless. Every creak of the floorboards, every car driving past outside, sent jolts of adrenaline through me. What if they were watching? What if they chose today to drive by? My house felt both like a fortress under construction and the most vulnerable place on earth. That evening, exhausted and paranoid, I forced myself to start compiling the old embezzlement evidence. I needed it to establish their motive clearly in the tip-off. Monday and Tuesday, T-3 and 2 days. The hardest part, acting normal. I went to work, participated in meetings, responded to emails, all while this deadly deadline loomed. Every interaction felt fake, strained. Evenings were spent refining the evidence package, organizing the chat logs chronologically, highlighting key phrases, matching them with the embezzlement timeline, writing a clear, concise summary of their plot and motive. On Tuesday evening, after work, I drove to a different town, paid cash for a burner phone and SIM card at a small convenience store, making sure to stay away from CCTV cameras as much as possible. I found 3 potential public Wi-Fi spots: a library, a busy coffee shop, a park pavilion, far from my home or office, planning to use one of them on Thursday morning. The tension was becoming unbearable. Sleep was measured in minutes, not hours. Wednesday, T-1 day. Final checks. Tested the cameras remotely multiple times. Ensured my bedroom door was as secure as possible. I slid a heavy bookshelf partially in front of it, just in case. I went through my workday on autopilot. Every shadow seemed menacing, every unexpected noise made me jump. I felt utterly alone but fiercely determined. Tonight, I wouldn't sleep at all. Thursday morning, day X. At dawn, I drove to the library in the neighboring town. Heart pounding, I connected the burner phone to the public Wi-Fi, logged into a newly created anonymous email account, and attached the password-protected evidence dossier. I sent the email containing the dossier to the police tip line, the head of internal audit at my old company, implicating their characters further, and the HR department, marking it urgent. The subject: urgent, evidence of planned home invasion/murder plot and past embezzlement. My address: tonight approximately 2 a.m. The body detailed everything: Alex and Ben's names, descriptions, car, the exact time, entry point, motive, and crucially, the presence and approximate locations of hidden cameras documenting everything, urging immediate but discreet surveillance and intervention at the time of entry. 15 minutes later, from a different public Wi-Fi spot miles away, I sent a second anonymous email from a different temporary address containing only the PDF password. Then, I meticulously disassembled the burner phone, snapped the SIM card, and disposed of the pieces in separate public trash cans across town. Done. The trap was set. All I could do now was play my part. I went through the day in a daze, forcing smiles, making small talk, waiting for the night. Thursday night/Friday early a.m. Midnight. I locked myself in my bedroom. Phone fully charged. Tablet open, monitoring the hidden camera feeds. The house was silent, but my ears strained, hearing every creak. 1 a.m. Nothing. 1:30 a.m. Still nothing. Doubt gnawed at me. Did they change the plan? Did the tip work? 1:55 a.m. Headlights washed across my window briefly. My external camera feed showed their familiar car coasting to a stop down the street. My breath hitched. 1:58 a.m. 2 dark figures emerged, masked, moving swiftly, silently towards my back fence. This was real. 2:01 a.m. A faint scraping sound from the back door, then a distinct click and muffled thud as the door was forced. They were inside. My hand was shaking as I dialed 911, whispering my address, stating intruders were inside now, that I was locked in my bedroom. Even as I spoke, I could hear floorboards creaking downstairs on my camera feed audio. The police response was almost unnervingly fast. Because of the detailed tip, they weren't just responding to a potential break-in, they were anticipating a specific, violent crime in progress. Within what felt like seconds, but was probably closer to 2 minutes after they got inside, the quiet street erupted. No sirens until the last moment, then flashing lights everywhere, heavy footsteps pounding on my porch, loud, authoritative shouts: "Police! Show me your hands! Get down! Get down now!" There were sounds of struggle, a heavy thud, more shouting, then the distinct click of handcuffs. I didn't move until an officer was at my bedroom door, calling my name, confirming it was safe. When I finally emerged, trembling, the scene in my living room was validation served cold. Alex and Ben were cuffed, masks pulled off, faces a mixture of shock and terror. Police officers were everywhere. One officer was looking at a tablet, clearly reviewing footage from one of my hidden cameras. Crowbars and zip ties lay on the floor nearby, bagged as evidence. They hadn't even had time to properly stage the robbery. They were caught utterly red-handed, mid-crime. The investigation afterwards pieced everything together quickly. My hidden camera footage was damning. The anonymous tip, combined with my 911 call, corroborated the premeditated nature. The chat logs and voice notes sealed it. The embezzlement evidence provided clear motive. Alex and Ben barely had a defense. They took plea deals, facing long stretches in prison for conspiracy, attempted murder, burglary, and more. The news reports mentioned the police thanking a detailed anonymous tip for allowing them to intervene before the homeowner was harmed. That was my quiet victory. They tried to erase me, first from the business, then from existence. Instead, they orchestrated their own downfall, walking into a trap built from their own words and my refusal to be a victim. Clearing my name from the business fallout was one.